Hey, and welcome to the box seat. I'm Pete Anthonus. It's good to be here to preview racing from Ascot Racecourse for Anzac Day. We've got 8 races on the card. A quick look at the forecast, and it should be sunny and 29 degrees. The rail is in the 16-metre position with a cutaway, and I'm anticipating a return to good 4-track conditions. The first race at Ascot jumps at 1:33. It's a Tab Touch Bet Your Bet plate over 1,100 metres. And for our horse and focus, we'll have a look at the first start of High Range.
Round through along the inside of Forest War, and then at the head of the others, Instant Hit by the 250. Pretty Style. Whiting hasn't moved. Now he does. Just gives it an inch of range. And ranges up now to join High Range. High Range and Pretty Style. High Range has got plenty to offer. It's High Range sneaking clear now from Pretty Style.
First start of High Range was very impressive indeed. Ryan Hill took the horse straight to the front, and it was just too strong in the end for Pretty Style. I'm anticipating similar tactics once more from gate 2. There might be a few other horses that will want to lead. There's a few first starters that have shown a bit of toe in their trials so far, but I was impressed with the ability of High Range in its first and only start so far. It's on top for me from the 6 Not Really True, who's a horse coming up. Just had a couple of trials at Bunbury so far. Willie Pike is taking the ride, but I just enjoyed the way that in both of its trials it just managed to jump around and cruise towards the line. Really didn't look touched at any stage. Third pick is the 5, which is Miss Elmire. Another horse that showed a nice bit of speed early on in its 2 trials so far. Looking forward to seeing this horse try and jump and go straight towards the front if it can. I'm just not sure it'll have the same speed as High Range. And then 4th pick is the 4, Joyride. So he gets the blinkers on this start. It's tried to lead at both starts so far. It's just been overshadowed by a few other runners that have just been able to collar it late. So we'll see how the horse goes from gate 3. High Range on top for me in the first. Number 1 on top from the 6 Not Really True. 5 Miss Elmire and the 4 Joyride. Race 2 at Ascot jumps at 2:08. It's the Furphy handicap over 1,000 metres, and our horse and focus hasn't been seen in a little while. There's no trial, so we'll go back and have a look at the performance of the 9th hour from October last year.
Into the straight, 300 left to go. Crypto Kid quickly raced 2.5 in front of Olga Louise. Icemaker with a rails run. Here comes on the outside the 9th hour, and also Festival Miss with their runs at the 100-metre mark, and Festival Miss in the 9th hour. They're together, the 9th hour. Festival Miss. Noski's lifting the 9th hour. He lands the money. The 9th hour.
Not an unfamiliar tactic for the Ganjimi camp coming into a race first up without a trial, but you couldn't help but be impressed with the way that this galloper really attacked the line over the last 400 metres, managing to overhaul the very talented Festival Miss. And I think the draw from gate 5 looks very ideal for this galloper to find a bit of cover and utilise that turn of foot in what looks to just maybe be a bit of a muddling tempo up front. It's only a small field in this event. Second pick for me is the 6 Dear Calder, who was wide early last start. I think it might be better suited coming back to the 1,000 metres, and again it seems to get itself into a good position with a bit of cover from gate 7. Third pick is the 5, Copper Fury. I thought this horse was really good last start at Albany over the 1,000 metres. It led and won in good time and seems to draw ideally in gate 2. Jade McNaught on board is no bad thing either. And then 4th pick is the 1, Arafura, who again is another horse that does have very much strong ability over the 1,000 metres. Last start wasn't as suited as the previous start. It was a little bit restrained back through the field, but I think it can improve from gate 1. Race 2, I'll put the 4 on top, the 9th hour from the 6, Dear Calder, 5, Copper Fury, and 1, Arafura. Race 3 at Ascot jumps at 2:43. It's the Amelia Park Lamb handicap over 1,400 metres. And we'll take a look at the last start performance of Forgotten Star.
Larking being put into the action, followed by Advocator, then Hayer at the 250. Forgotten Star hit the front, joined quickly by Advocator. Larking between them, ribbon of gold back towards the inside. It's Advocator at the 100, joining Forgotten Star. Advocator, Forgotten Star having a great tussle. They split the line. I thought
Forgotten Star's coming out of what was just a moderate tempo race, but I thought it was really good going towards the line. It just kept fighting back against Advocator and was strong through the line. I think the step up in extra 200 metre distance going up to the 1,400 metres looks absolutely perfect. Gate 1 looks pretty soft for it. Should be able to get itself into a good position and use that strong turn of foot over the last 400 metres. I've got the second pick as the 2, Sophie Song, who I don't think was advantaged last start. It didn't lead, and I think it is a horse that needs to jump well from the gates and just roll along at its own tempo. It's coming out of a race where it was an even speed, but I think it will be better suited in this event from gate 3. Third pick is the one, I'm Spartacus, who's been sitting in the breeze the last couple of starts. It just seems to be finding these wide draws, just a few extra gallopers with a bit more toe on the inside. So it's probably going to end up in the same position, but it has been very consistent so far, this preparation. And then fourth pick is the 5, Gates of Babylon. It's another horse that should be thereabouts on speed. Again, probably finding outside the leader, I would imagine, for this event. But it's been running in good form, and I think the strong tempo race of last start should hold it in good stead for this event. 3 on top for me, Forgotten Star. From 2, Sophie's Song. 1, I Am Spartacus. And 5, Gates of Babylon. Race 4 at Ascot jumps at 3:15. It's the Mrs. Max handicap over 1,500 metres, and our horse in focus has had 2 trials, so we'll have a look at the most recent of those, and the horse is Stoicism.
Stoicism is down now to give chase strongly on the outside. It's coming home the better, and Stoicism has swept up to Silver Queen at the 200 metre mark and pounced on the lead. Well clear of Deadly Touch. Stoicism takes over, draws clear in a classy display, is coming right away from Silver Queen, and Stoicism stretching out beautifully in the black blinkers, wins well by 2 1/4.
I was pretty keen to back Stoicism when it returned first up last week, but it was scratched from that event and saved for this race. Again, I think it's drawn an ideal gate from 7, and I think Chloe Has a Party is a bit of a sign of intent in that they might very well try and ride the galloper on speed. And if that's the case, I think it should be well suited over the 1,500 metres, and it's shown good form in early on in its previous preparations. It goes on top for me from the 1, Kelly's Callisto, who last start was squeezed early, managed to float back through the field, and that was the same story 2 starts ago as well. I think Brodie Kirby going on board is a bit of a clue. We saw when he rode this galloper last preparation in 2 starts, he rode it straight to the front, managed to lead and dictate terms and win both at times. So I think they might try the same tactic here. Third pick is the 8, Perceptive Miss, who was restrained back through the field and really was doing its best work late, and especially past the post in its first up return. I thought it was a pretty good race overall, and the extra distance does look suitable as well. And then fourth pick is the 5, Langley, who's been pretty consistent so far. We'll probably seek cover in this event, but its previous form has been very consistent and should be thereabouts if it's an even speed up front. 2 on top for me, Stoicism, from 1, Kelly's Callisto, 8, Perceptive Miss, and the 5, Langley.